Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello. We realized this is our 3rd week. We're it's a whole big experiment, but we
Mhm.
haven't really come on and introduced ourselves before. So we're gonna try and we should come up with a trailer maybe.
Yeah, no.
Or
We
not like a trailer, but like an open, like, "Hi,
yeah,
we're so and so."
I know. We need that. We need a theme song. So help us out if you have any ideas.
We were just like, "Let's just start going live." And I knew that was the only way it was ever gonna happen. Okay,
Yep.
so let's introduce ourselves. You go first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Natalie Barnett. I am
And
I
now
am
you know. No, I'm
and
kidding.
now you know. That's it. I have 3 kids. I am a success coach. I work with female entrepreneurs mostly. I work with people who are highly ambitious, but they just have that thing that's in the back of their mind that just keeps them from doing the things that they really want to. And I help people to remove those obstacles so that they can show up and embrace their ambition and give the world their own unique brand of magic that everybody needs. So that's what I do. And I'm a 2-5 splenic projector, which means I am a highly ambitious person. So I want to do all the things. We were just talking about how I can't do all the things, and
Yeah,
that's a little frustrating at the moment, but that's okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, folks. I'm Heather Vickery. I'm a transformational success coach, but at the core of it, what I do is I help conscious leaders learn to lead from embodied joy. Because when joy is our set point and not our end goal, everything changes. We show up differently into the world, we lead differently, we guide differently, we engage differently, and the ripple effect of that is astronomical. And I have to give a shout out to Natalie. I can't tell on my screen you're on this side, but when I do that, it's facing the other way. I'm going to give a shout out to Natalie because you are the one that said to me, "So joy as a set point," and I have used that ever since you. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what it is. So thank you for giving me
Yay.
that. I also am a podcaster. I have an award nominated podcast called Was It Chance? I'm an author. It's a bunch of my books back here, which is cool. I am a mom. I have 4 kids. I am a lesbian, and I am a 1-3 splenic projector with an open head. So remind me, I feel like I should know this. I should know your chart.
We
You have an
need like
open
our
head.
charts right next to us. Like,
I
here's
know. How do we do that? Do you
I
have an
don't
open head center?
I do. Open head and ajna. Yeah.
That is, I think, for projectors, that is where I want to do everything comes in
Ah, yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're open to all of the thoughts, ideas, inspiration, but also the doubts and the questions, and they come at us like it's their damn job. And the not self is thinking that you have to take all of that on. So that
Yeah.
fits nicely with what you were telling me right before we went live, which is that you're trying to shift out of. I'll let you tell the story, but trying to shift out of wanting to do all of the things.
Yeah.
Um, but that tracks, I think.
Absolutely. And I have the gate 11 too, that is active in me. So that's like the ideas gate where I have all these ideas, but the thing is, they're not all for me. So I like that I get to, if an idea comes in, maybe it's for somebody else. So I like having groups of people like my clients and on my podcast and places where you can just talk about ideas and people can pick it. Ooh, hi.
I don't know. I'm just playing with it. We'll see how they look when we pull the reels. I'm sorry. I don't mean to distract
It's
you.
totally fine. Squirrel.
I'm the one pulling the social media reels just because this is my StreamYard account. And I was just playing with it right before we went live. And I was like, well, what will make it look better? So now I'll be able to see. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's good to know. Yeah, yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I have been feeling a lot of the outside. Just been a lot of energies coming in this past week
Yeah.
since we last
Yeah.
met that I'm like trying to navigate and protect myself from.
Yeah. Yes. All of that. Yes, all of
Yeah,
that so much. So much. Um, I also want to do all of the things, all of the ideas that pop into my mind. And this is how I end up in what I'm gonna call freeze state.
mhm.
Uh, because I want to do it and I will get excited about it. And I do have a defined asana. So I can see all the way to the end. I can see like exactly how this is going to turn out and what it's going to look like. And I'll get really excited and I'll get started and I'll get like 2/3 of the way there. And then I'm like, no, I'm tired. And then I
Yeah.
just won't pick it up again, which then causes me to go into a shame spiral. It's
Yeah.
brutal.
Okay. So I didn't know that about the Ajna Center, that you can see the process play all the way out.
Yeah, so the defined ajna is conceptualization. So it takes all of the thoughts, ideas, inspiration, doubts, questions, all of that come in your
Mhm.
head center, and it's conceptualizing it. So
Yeah.
people with a defined ajna, when you find somebody who's got a defined ajna and they go, "This is exactly how this is going to play out," we need to believe them because they know.
Yeah.
But right timing is important, and how you deliver the message is important. And so it gets complicated when I'm coaching and working with those folks. I have to say, just because you know how it's going to end doesn't mean you shouldn't involve other people in the conversation, right? So
Right.
but yeah, I can see it. But social media, and you're so good at your social media marketing. We talk about this all the time. This is one of those areas where I'll get excited and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do all of these things. And then I might go all the way. I might write out scripts or bullet points and then record my videos and then edit my videos. And then it comes time to write captions. And I'm like, ah, fuck that. I'm not going to do it. Or I might even write captions. I did have to I won't do like covers on
Yeah.
Instagram for reels. I'm like, if I have to do covers, I'm out. I'm not doing it. Like it's
Not
too much work.
necessary. Yeah.
um, so it's just funny. And that infuriates me about myself, but it
Hmm.
puts me in freeze state because then sometimes I don't start anything because I don't want to abandon it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. So it's interesting because I can't really relate to that.
No, because you have a defined route.
That, and also because, like, I guess that's maybe what makes it easier for me, is that I don't see it all the way through. I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. Just put it
Mhm.
out there and see what happens. Is that part of it, being open? Because that's kind of, I'm like, I have this idea. Why not just do it? Um,
Yeah, you're exploring,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're out there and willing to try it and see what happens. I would imagine though that what would be really valuable to you
Mhm.
would be regular reassess. You didn't ask me this, so I don't mean to be coaching you. Is it
No,
okay to give you I
totally.
have
Yeah.
a thought. Can I share it with you? Like to
It's
channel
all,
my
the
inner
invitation is
I
always
know.
open.
I figure in this space we can just do
Yeah.
it. But modeling that behavior for those who are watching, if you
Mm,
don't have an open invitation and you're a projector, ask for the invitation.
great.
Um, Regular reassessment, Natalie, like
Yeah.
consistently saying, okay, these are all the things I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is it getting me? Do I like the way it feels? Am I getting the
Mhm.
results that I want?
Mhm.
What am I giving up to do all of these things?
Mhm.
Do I want to keep doing it? So, like, I don't mean to plug my book, but that's literally part of the Brave method, right? And
Yeah.
so it works because it requires you to be intentional and to be really aware and to be in the experiences of your life instead of constantly on the treadmill.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, like, when I hear that for my business, like for what I do for my coaching, I feel really good about the things that I'm doing.
Mhm.
It's like the other stuff just feels like a lot
Yeah.
right now, and that reassessing needs to be a part of that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. If you were a client, I would say, and I have said lots of times that I do this when I speak too, I would say set up daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual reassessment things, and they're all different. So daily is just a check-in. You just check in. Like
Yeah.
I highly recommend that it's at the end of the day, like, how do I feel about how I spent my time today and
Mhm.
the results that I got? And do I want more of this? Or do I need to set boundaries? Or do I need to have a conversation? Like whatever the answer is. Weekly can be more kind of long term. And again, you just build up on that. But
Yeah.
it sounds overwhelming, although you're a good structure. You're right. You're structured and routine. You like the
Yeah.
structure and routine, whereas I
Yeah.
don't.
It sounds
Um,
great to me.
yeah, it really, really works. I've got a worksheet if you want it. Just let me know. I have a it's a 3 hours reassessment, reframing, resilience worksheet from the Brave Method workshop. Happy to share it with you.
Absolutely. I'll take it. Yeah. That's definitely an area of my life that I need to do better, and also like ties into like people pleasing,
Yeah.
making sure everybody else is okay, but I can be crap, but as long as everybody else is okay, I have some semblance of being okay too. And at least, so I'm like, well, I'm aware of it and I'm working on it. And I think that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I invite you to decide that if everybody else is okay, but you're not, that you're not okay.
Yeah.
I am getting, I don't know if I've told you this or not. I officially started my PhD program for metaphysical science.
No, that's incredible.
Thank you. We have to go all the way back. I have to get a bachelor's, then I have to do a master's, and then I have to defend
Okay.
the doctorate. And not much of it is new, but it's nice to get a reminder.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they suggest when a negative thought comes in, and I'd never heard of this because we are always told just, redirect to positive thoughts, which it does in all of my training. But it says when a negative thought comes in, just quickly go cancel, cancel, cancel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, like disrupt it, right? Cancel, cancel, cancel. I don't want that.
Yeah. It's like a quick, it's almost like that task switch thing. Like,
Yeah.
I like that. It's easy though. Cancel.
Cancel, 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 cancel.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've like disrupted it. So I don't know. You could try it and see because
I'm totally going to try that.
it's just not true. So I was laughing thinking about my week as a projector in a generator world. So Natalie and I are both, I love this. I love all of this serendipity between us. Area directors for an event called the Empower Breakfast, which started in Nebraska. We're bringing it to our own communities. We're both in the early phases of it. I think I am my first sponsor. I'm very excited. But I traveled to Nebraska last week. Very short trip. I arrived midday on Thursday. Had dinner with the team. Had to get up at dark 30.
There's this
5:45. Yeah, because their breakfast is at the doors open at 6:40. I was like, this is full on insanity. I'm never gonna, no. But I was there and I was at the breakfast and then I flew home like directly after that, came home and it was my niece's birthday and I always host her birthday. And she had said, hey, can we do dinner on Friday? And I said, sure, honey. And so I had to come home, had to go to the grocery store, had to make dessert, like immediately start cooking, pick my own kids up from school. By the time everybody shows up at my house, I was like zombified. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fucking tired. That was a very unprojector like 48 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those things where you're like, you can see, okay, do you do this? Okay. I can see how I'll be like, oh yeah, I can totally do that. Works out. There's plenty of time.
On the calendar, it looks great.
Yeah. And then you're like living it and you're like, this is not working out at all for me. Like spacing it out. Do you do that?
Absolutely. Yes. If I leave my calendar to me, it's all kinds of fucked up like that. So the way I work around it most of the time without sabotaging myself is through my online scheduler. I have strong parameters and I have actually had to shift those parameters a little bit because I'm talking with so many sponsors and speakers, potential sponsors and speakers for Empower Breakfast. Because usually I will only take 2 virtual coffee dates a day, only 3 days a week. And I'll take 2 one-on-one coaching clients 3 days. I have all of these parameters, or don't schedule me within 20 minutes of a previous engagement, right? So that I always have time in between. And that works most of the time until I say, and I know we all say it, if you don't see anything on my schedule, let me know and I'll move things around. And then I slot somebody in.
Yeah. I say that a lot. Like, you don't see a time, just let me know. We'll figure it out. And like on one hand, sure, we can figure it out. But yeah, the margins is the word that popped up for me. I don't do great with giving myself enough margin for resting, getting myself yeah, maybe there's a lot of energy and I've got my selenite, like I got to clear my energy or go outside or whatever in between things because I'm like, oh, I'll just fit one more thing in. So,
Yeah. Well, so how could you do that differently? What are your other options?
I honestly, my brain tells me I just have too many things. So I've got to do the assessing.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a way of just like reorganizing time, like reorganizing when I do what, like more of the batching thing. I tell myself I don't like that because I am so much in the moment, like just following my spleen, like, oh, I want to do this now. I want to do that now.
Yeah.
But, and this was the thing I was supposed to do from last week, which I did not do, is like make time in my schedule for these like slow mornings, or when am I going to take my breaks? Like actually put it in the Google Calendar.
So why didn't you do it?
I just moved on to the next thing. I always just move on to the next thing.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, but then there's a part of me that's like, I want to get the things done more.
How long do you think it'll take you to block some stuff off on your calendar?
It'll probably take me like 10, 15 minutes just to go through the next couple weeks and put some time in there.
What's your schedule like when we're done here?
I have time, I have space, I have margins. So I will report my stories.
Do you want to do it right after we're finished?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, and then it'll be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I will give myself some credit for is I do have the margins and I just do not like to feel rushed. I get drained so much faster if I'm one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing.
Yeah.
Mondays are great. I took my time this morning and I did my doctorate studies. I did a meditation. Like it was a very slow morning, which was nice, but not every morning allows for that. But I do have the time in between. I'll like pick a crystal or do some stretching. I'm not perfect. I screw it up too, but that one I feel like I'm pretty good at. Now, for me, the trick is to not feel guilt or shame that I do take so many breaks throughout the day.
Yeah, that's the thing that will happen, and I'm hoping I've experienced that. And I also want to back up real quick to give myself credit for today. Like I did, I had to get kids out and all of that, but when they were out to school, I came back inside and I did hypno breath work. I did hypnosis. I was slow, I did take my time moving into my work, so that felt really good. And I know there's not every day that I can do that, but I can do it more days than I am.
Yeah.
So, but what I was going to say is I'm hoping that having it on the Google Calendar will legitimize it, as in this is what you're scheduled for now.
That's what I would tell a client is that it's you giving yourself permission, and whether or not you're consciously aware, like, oh, it's so silly. I gave myself permission. I could do that anytime. You see it on your calendar. You're like, oh, I'm supposed to do that. I have some corporate clients who have to schedule in eat lunch.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. That's not me. I never miss my lunch.
I never miss my lunch. That's that left facing arrow, that upper left facing arrow. Because I'm more of a intuitive eater. So I just eat when I realize it's time to eat. Now, sometimes that'll bite me in the ass, but
yeah,
it can do that for sure. What was your projector life like last week?
Last week, it was a lot of energies coming in, and not like safeguarding myself as well as I could have, but also allowing myself, it wasn't as scheduled as I would like it to be, because again, I guess that's a big part of me. But I did give myself like breaks between things. So I did go for walks. Like I think I just don't give myself enough credit. And if it's not perfect, then if it's not consistently perfect, then it's not consistent enough. But I think I did give myself more breaks than I would have.
Oh.
So for me, my, just I don't realize how much of the emotions of other people and um, that go, like the sacral energy of like my husband, who's always got that sacral energy going, that I soak up and like amplify. And so resting and emptying out, I think, is like a big theme of like keeping clear. I did so much tapping last week. So that was my projector week.
I think that's such an interesting key awareness that you do it. You don't give yourself enough credit for it. And if it's not perfect, and by perfect, you mean consistent all the time, then it doesn't count. I believe that if you start practicing daily reassessment
Yeah.
and reflection check-ins, that you'll be able to shift that. Because that taps into the to the NLP, that taps into the unconscious mind part of reminding yourself
Yeah.
that you have done it and that it is there.
Yes.
So I'll be really curious to hear how that shakes out.
It's so funny to be like, I can see it in other people and I can see it in clients and I can coach clients, but I will, like, everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs somebody to reflect that back to you, Anyway, that was a big part of my last week.
Yeah. Big stuff.
Big stuff. Yeah. And what about you? I know you had your travel.
I did. And it was good. I mean, I love to travel. I get upgraded to first class, which was delightful, even though it was literally like an hour and 15-minute flight, like whatever. Yeah.
Super nice.
I love getting upgraded.
Yeah.
Another little reminder, though, that social media is not real life, right? If you see me posting, my first class picture, it does not mean I'm out here doing that. And I would be amazing if I were. I'm not shaming. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it doesn't always give people the perception of what's real and not real. So I got to practice being a projector mom today, last night and today. We've talked before. My youngest is a manifesting generator, and she has and she's an emotional man-gen, and her emotional wave is the wave of transitories, unmet expectations. So when things do not go exactly the way she wants them to, she throws a tantrum.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach her to, of course, understand that things don't always go the way they're supposed to, but that's just going to be what she does. But to give her as much information as possible and to help her figuring out how to get as much information as possible. So last night, she wasn't feeling great. She had a tiny fever, but she'd also just gotten out of the bathtub. And I said, okay. So she started to cry. I don't want to miss school. I don't want to miss school. Okay. Well, we're going to assume you're going to school. But in the morning, after you've gotten up and moved around for about 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to take your temperature again. And if it's over 100.1, you have to stay home so that you don't make your friends and the teachers and everybody else sick.
Right.
But we don't know, right? Yeah. So whatever. But her brain processed that as, I'm probably not going to school tomorrow. Okay. So she goes to sleep. It's all fine. I am barely up. I stumble out of my bed. She storming down the stairs and she goes, take my temperature. Okay. I'm like, good morning. Oh, I take her temperature. She doesn't have a fever. And she immediately started crying.
Oh.
And I said, what's going on? And she goes, well, I don't want to miss school. I don't know why I'm so upset. And I said, do you think it could be because when you went to bed last night, you had kind of resigned yourself to the fact that you were probably not going to school because you had a fever? You thought you might be sick? I don't know. We went on.
Yeah.
She said, well, maybe if I get ready, I'll feel a little better. So she got up and she got ready and then decided, because I had said, if you don't feel well enough, you can stay home. Or if you need a mental health day, you can stay home. Like, you just have to communicate it with me.
Yeah.
We get in the car and she goes, I think you were right. I think I had just gotten it in my head that I wasn't going to school. And it was weird to switch that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, right? I felt like I was in my projector mom, zone of genius. And I'm like, I'm asking questions, I'm guiding, I'm leading. She's hearing herself. recognizing this about herself. So that was kind of cool. It doesn't always work out that way, but
That's really good.
I was appreciated her willingness to self-assess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. My youngest has that same, actually both my girls have that same emotional wave.
Brutal.
But I almost like, I mean, there's no good or bad, right? Like, but I also almost appreciate because, and it's typically pretty fast too. Like it's a fast wave.
Yep.
And my manifestor, she's my youngest. I have two manifestors, but my manifestor daughter, she's the youngest. She woke up and I could tell she was in a creative, energetic streak. And she just came downstairs and she started painting before she even had breakfast, like just started painting. And then she started making Halloween decorations and she spent a lot of time on it. She was having so much fun. And then she got really upset because it didn't turn out the way that she wanted it to look. Unmet expectation. And she started crying, like just angry crying, right? Because manifestor. And she said, like, well, I was having so much fun when I was making it. Then I got really sad when I didn't like it. Why did that happen? Like she's like, I was like, well, it's because when you're in your creativity, it feels really good to create. It just felt really good to you. But then when it didn't turn out the way you wanted to, your expectation was not met. And that's what didn't feel good. Like, you took that as something's wrong. So very funny because it's a very similar kind of thing.
It's a cool opportunity though. How old is she?
She's 10.
Okay, so mine is 11. It's a cool opportunity, and it's not too late if you decide you wanna kinda play with this with her, is to say, "I understand that. That was frustrating.
Mhm.
Is there anything you could do before you start creating art
Mm.
that will help you not be so frustrated if things don't turn out the way you envision in your mind?"
That's a great idea. I can totally ask her that and she would be open to it because
Yeah.
she didn't like it.
Right? Because it's all for them, it's all in managing their expectations. So if she goes
Yeah.
into it going, "I just wanna have fun."
Yeah.
And no matter what it looks like, I might love it or I might not love it. I'm gonna be excited that I had fun.
Exactly. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we could all use that.
For sure. Yeah, we can all use that. And I think that it would be really helpful for her. And I think I can come back to her to that conversation because she'll have more opportunities to practice that. It's going to keep happening.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Lots of opportunities.
Mhm.
Speaking of opportunities, you have gone all in on the projector thing, which I am having such a fun time watching you do. Do you want to tell folks what you have going on? And I'm curious, it's not a sales pitch. We didn't talk about this in advance. But just like why this feels important to you as a
Mm.
projector.
Okay. So first I want to say it's been a big step for me because I still have a lot of things to decondition. I'm still in that process. I mean, I think we are never out of it, but I'm still feeling, I think, it's one of those things that the more you are in the work, the more you see, oh, there's more work to do. But still giving myself credit for what I have done. But anyway, I think it goes along with that ambition thing because the worst thing I can think of is any person, but I work a lot with women, like a woman saying, I want this, but I can't or shouldn't have that.
Yeah.
And we know that with projectors, there's a lot of conditioning of like how it should look, especially if you have an online business or any arena. And it's a lot of conditioning that's been placed on us, programming that we have, and it didn't happen because people are awful and they want to make us suffer. They just are different in their energy. We're just different.
Yeah.
And so I want to have a safe place where projectors can come and they're always invited to share their wisdom, to guide people, and have a place to air your bitterness. Like, I am bitter because this is happening and nobody's seeing me, nobody's choosing me. We've all, like, I can feel that deeply. So I just wanted to have a place where people can do that. And it's myself, but also my human design teacher and mentor that I worked with, Kaylee, and she's actually a manifesting generator, but she's one of the people that projectors. She attracts a lot of projectors.
Sure.
And she's been really instrumental in helping me with my whole deconditioning process. So she has been in the work longer than me and knows more human design. So my role is in there to be a projector and like live and mess up and try again and like help guide people, but also with tapping. So tapping is going to be a part of monthly when we meet.
Love.
Whatever they are coming with that they need to release, and I'll help them to do that and reprogram. Maybe they'll feel like it's okay for me to rest. Maybe they're going to feel like I have to see and accept and recognize myself before other people can recognize me, or understand that maybe they took that waiting for the invitation to mean that they can't do anything until somebody comes to them, and helping them work through that. So it's just a lounge. It's the projector lounge where we get to be ourselves.
I think it's so cool. Like, I love this reminder that our bitterness, like, first of all, we have to expel it because otherwise it'll eat you up. And we talked about this before. Karen Curry Parker, who does quantum human design, she's like, it's such a good indicator that you need to check in with yourself. Like, it's when you're feeling super bitter, that's when you go, oh, wait, what are my choices that aren't good aligned choices right now? Like, because that's on you. But it doesn't mean you don't feel the thing, and it's still good to process. All you got to feel it to heal it, right? You've got to move through it, and it's good to get that out loud. And I love that you're bringing tapping into it. I love tapping. I'm like you, certified in tapping, and I do it with all my clients. It is one of those things, though, that I struggle deeply with to have routine.
Yeah.
And I'm not a great routine person anyway, although right now I'm kicking routine's ass with my French lessons. I'm on, what day am I on? I'm on day 28 of my French
Amazing.
lessons. I did 75 days before I took my daughter to Paris 2 years ago. And then I just decided, like, I want to be fluent in French. I want to live in France. I want to be fluent. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I've been doing a good job with that. But oh man, I can't be consistent with tapping.
Yeah.
And I feel terrible about it because I know it helps.
I know that. Well, I catch myself in that too. I think, honestly, it was actually because I had a lot of things to tap through this past week. And I was like, I know what this is. It's I don't want to feel, I want to just ignore it. I just want to ignore it and move through it and push on to the next thing. But even though it's going to be quick and I will move through, tapping helps. It's not that long, like 5 to 10 minutes, you can move things, I still have to sit and accept myself. And that's the part I love about tapping. And it's the part that's hard to get into. And I understand that, like, because you don't bypass even though I feel this way.
Yes.
You completely love and accept myself.
Yes.
And you have to say that over. You have to accept yourself. And you're like, there was something I'm not quite ready to share yet, but like, just really, I made a mistake and I shamed, there was just a lot of shame and I didn't want to accept myself. So it was hard. So I understand that part, but it is fast, it is fast. So, but I get it though, because I didn't want to do it either.
You're totally right. That's why people don't do the 3 R's either. The reassessment and reframing, which leads to resilience. It's the exact same thing, is because you have to sit with yourself. You have to be honest and honor yourself and allow it to be okay. I did a live show a few weeks ago. A member of my Spark Collective, which is my little $18 a month community. She said, I realized I didn't want to be successful because if I admitted I was successful, then I wouldn't have any more reason to not love myself.
Oh, yeah. Secondary gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's her comfort zone. It's just comfortable to not love herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
wild?
relatable.
But I will tell clients, and I'm curious your opinion on this. And I need to remember this for myself, that even if all you do is go through all of the tapping points and say, I
Yeah.
deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself, and nothing else, even if you're not tapping on the issue, like that will stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. It will
Mhm.
recalibrate you energetically.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
It's a good, yeah, I love that. You just go through those, yeah, just go through that. Accept yourself, love yourself. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to add to that. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. All right. So, Natalie, do we commit to coming up with like a little opening? Hey, welcome to, we'll do it, right? We can do it.
Yeah,
Sweet,
projectors.
sweet.
There needs to be some kind of like animal sounds.
I don't know how to do sound
I don't
on
either.
StreamYard. I don't know how to do that.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if we can do sound. It might just have to be us
Okay.
talking.
Yeah.
If we
Oh,
do it.
I bet we can come up with something.
I think we
We'll work on
can.
that.
We'll work on that for you guys so that there's a little bit more of a smooth entrance. But it's fun and I'm proud of us. And
I
now we've
know.
done 3 weeks. So if you all want to connect with us, I am Brave Heather on TikTok, Heather at _ Vickery and Code on Instagram and on Threads, uh, podcasting, coaching, all kinds of fun stuff. Come hang out with me there. And Natalie, how can they connect with you?
I love Instagram. I'm on there a lot. It's at Natalie Barnett. I am not on TikTok. I mean, I am, but I don't do anything there really. But you can email me, hello@nataliebarnett.com. But mostly Instagram. Just come over
Yeah.
there, say hi. Just say hi. I like
And
talking.
you've got a great drop down. Like I think I have it too. I think I modeled mine off of yours, if I'm being super honest.
Yeah,
Like your
like my
under
links.
your profile.
Yeah,
Yeah, like your links are easy to book and learn more and all that fun stuff. But we
yeah.
both love to connect. So come and hang out with us
Yes, please.
outside of Projectors in the Wild.
See you on the next episode of Projectors in the Wild. Okay,
We'll
we got
see you
to
then. Come back next week for a brand new conversation about being a projector in this generator world. I just made it up. Bye. Bye, everybody.